Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
An episode of the Four-Star Playhouse coming up, as it was originally broadcast 73 years ago, September 11th, 1949, at 8 o'clock at night, the lead-off slot. Paradise, USA, starring one of those four stars, Rosalind Russell, along with another gentleman by the name of Ira Grossel. Now, you may not know who that is, but you'll know in a bit. We thank you for joining us on this Sunday. This is the 11th day of September, 254th day of the year, 111 days remaining to 2023. It was on this date in 2001, two hijacked commercial jets crashed by terrorists into the north and south towers of the World Trade Center in New York City, causing the collapse of both towers. A short while later, another plane crashed into the Pentagon, a fourth into a field near Shanksville, Pennsylvania. In total, almost 3,000 were killed.
All news, all the time. Terrorism at the World Trade Center.
This is beyond belief.
Breaking news.
Two planes have smashed into the towers minutes apart.
We were stunned. We were shocked.
Z100, 852. Something weird is going on.
Yeah.
The World Trade Center is on fire.
Oh, my Seriously, goodness. The top of the building. We're trying to get information, Elvis.
It looks like floors are just gone. Looks like how do you turn it on?
Clearly, we're in the middle of the worst ever act of terrorism directed at the United States on domestic soil, and it may not be over.
It's 9 o'clock now in WOR New York, along with Joe Bartlett in the WOR News Center. I'm Ed Walsh. This is one of those days that all of us will remember for the rest of our lives.
This is 1010 Wins. You give us 22 minutes. We'll give you the world.
As hard as they tried to distance themselves from the news and not be the news, their emotions were really on their sleeves, and that's good radio. It's natural.
I'm getting goosebumps as I talk about it, and watch the second plane hit, as most of the country did.
Oh my God, Ed! Another plane just hit the World Trade Center. Another plane. It was a medium-sized plane. Unbelievable! It would look like. Oh my God! This is a deliberate act, Ed. This plane flew directly into the second World Trade Center.
God! The next building is another one. Up. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Another plane just flew in.
I feel the heat. The explosion is incredible. Oh my God!
Another plane as we were watching.
I can't believe this.
All right, we've got Neil Augenstein, who we've been trying to bring up this morning. Neil, are you? Can you tell us what you see at the Pentagon now?
Mike, can you hear me? Mike?
Yes, I can. Neil Augenstein, you're live on the air. Tell us what you see at the Pentagon.
Okay, I'm standing right on 395, right by the Boundary Channel Drive exit, looking across to the Pentagon, seeing heavy smoke.
Oh my God, the building fell! Are you there? The building just fell.
Which building?
Oh my God, the south building just crumbled from the top. Oh my God, the building just fell. The entire World Trade Center on the south building just fell. I just saw the whole thing. Oh my God.
Nobody knew whether these buildings were falling like this or falling in on top of themselves, so that the terror was to try to calculate how far does a 110-story building fall and how fast can I run?
I saw the tower go down, and I'm standing there feeling helpless, wanting to cry, and also wanting to be strong and do something.
It was so chilling that our anchor at the time, Lee Harris, as objective as he tried to be, as journalistic as he tried to be, the anguish in his voice was unmistakable.
A situation that started bad just gets worse and worse and worse. The World Trade Center, South Tower, which was hit by a plane and wrecked by an explosion approximately an hour ago, has totally collapsed.
An excerpt of Art Vuolo's wonderful documentary about how New York radio reacted to 9/11 back in 2001. That whole video is available through his website, vuolovideo.com, VUOLO video.com. In other things that took place on the 11th day of September, Alexander Hamilton appointed the first Secretary of the Treasury. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt dedicated Boulder Dam, now Hoover Dam in Nevada. Beatles recorded their first single, Love Me Do, on this date in 1962. Former Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev died at the age of 77. President Reagan invited Soviet Foreign Minister Andrei Gromyko for a visit.
I've invited Soviet Deputy Premier and Foreign Minister Andrei Gromyko to meet with me at the White House on September 28th, and Mr. Gromyko has accepted.
Now, at the conference, we learned much later that Mrs. Reagan played a pivotal role in the event. She welcomed Gromyko to the White House at a reception prior to the luncheon. When she greeted Gromyko, he leaned down to her and said, "Does your husband believe in peace?" She responded, "Yes, of course." Gromyko said, "Then whisper peace in your husband's ear every night." Without missing a beat, Mrs. Reagan responded, "Yes, I will. And I'll also whisper it in your ear." Gromyko repeated the story many times over the years, a clear and unmistakable message coming from President Reagan's closest and most influential advisor, his wife, that they had turned a new page in the relationship, and the rest was history. Also taking place on this day in history, the National September 11 Memorial and Museum opened in 2011 on the 10th anniversary of the September 11 attacks. Among others passing away on this date in history, apart from Nikita Khrushchev, animator, director, producer Max Fleischer, actor Lauren Green, actress Jessica Tandy, actress Kim Hunter, actor John Ritter, taken from us far too soon, and the singer-songwriter, head of the Bob Crew generation, Bob Crew. Among those born on this date in history, the former governor of Louisiana, Jimmy Davis, Paul Bear Bryant from Alabama, the president of the Philippines, Ferdinand Marcos, and football coach Tom Landry. Birthday number 88 for comedian Tom Dreesen, film director Brian De Palma, so many horror movies, 82 years old. Singer Lola Falana is 80. From Field of Dreams, Amy Madigan is 72. From Dune and Electric Dreams, Virginia Madsen is 61. From Empty Nest and Little Darlings, Christy McNichol, 60 years old today. Wrestling manager Paul Heyman, remembered to many as Paul E. Dangerously. He is 57 years old today. Harry Connick Jr., fine singer, 55. From Empire, Taraji P. Henson is 52. Rapper Ludacris is 45. Elizabeth Henstridge from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is 35. And comedian Bob Smiley is 50.
We actually did meet online. I hope that's okay to tell the story, but yeah, we met on MySpace. Yeah, it was awesome. We were the only two left. And she's so amazing. And that's what? Oh, there she is. Hey, baby. Isn't she beautiful? She's such a good Christian. That's what attracted me, but she's also really beautiful. Actually, I'm going to tell this really, I'm going to end on time, I promise. But this is how beautiful she is. 2 weeks ago, we were at a grocery store. We were buying snacks because we were going to watch a movie, because I have this huge, giant TV at Sam's where I shop. And we were buying snacks because we didn't know, it was late, so we didn't know if they'd still have the free sample booths up. And this is how beautiful she is. We walked up to the cashier at the grocery store, and the cashier looked at me and looked at her, and we set our snacks down, and he picked up the divider and put it between our stuff. All right, let's just say out loud what he was saying. He looked at me and looked at her and was like, yeah, there's no way. And then I had a dilemma because I wanted him to know that she was with me, but I kind of wanted her to pay for her own snacks. So
the very funny Christian comedian Bob Smiley, 50 years old today. Though some of the people celebrating the 11th day of September is their birthday, if this is your birthday,
Hi,
We're the four freshmen, and we just want to say, Happy birthday to you.
From 73 years ago today, September 11th, 1949, the four-star Playhouse, Paradise, USA, starring Rosalind Russell and Ira Grossel. That'll be coming up next on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on a Sunday on your favorite station.
You know, it's true. Difficult times have a way of focusing us. We have to think about what matters most when it comes to our spending, our health care. No doubt. This is why so many people are joining Medi-Share right now. Medi-Share is a trusted way to save up to 50% on your monthly health care costs. More than 400,000 people have already made the switch. It's pretty obvious why, too, especially now during this challenging season with healthcare costs and out-of-pocket expenses going up. Medi-Share can save you a lot of money. The typical family saves $500 a month. And Medi-Share is a Christian healthcare sharing ministry that's worked beautifully for 29 years. There are different options to choose from to fit your budget. I'll give you the number here in a second, and if you call, you can get a price within 2 minutes. Maybe now is the perfect time to make the switch and start saving. Here you go. Call 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
Has someone in your family lost a job recently, and now you can't afford your mortgage payment? Or do you have a rental property and your tenants aren't paying you? We can come to the rescue and pay you cash for your home immediately. Yes, sell your home and get cash all over the phone without dealing with real estate agents or having to waste time showing your home to lukewarm buyers. You don't need to lose your house to foreclosure. If you have equity in your home, we'll buy your home and give you cash within days, all in a simple over-the-phone and virtual process. Call now before your situation gets worse. Sell a home you can't afford or just need anymore and get the cash you need today. Call this number now.
800-477-4612. 800-477-4612. 800-477-4612. That's 800-477-4612. Paid for by Want to Sell.
Attention Walmart shoppers. Now you can order one of the most advanced hearing aids on the market for hundreds, not thousands of dollars. Hearing Assist's most advanced product lineup includes models that use an exclusive app for enhanced control over what you want to hear. It's perfect if you have a smartphone or iPhone to hear everything better. And we have 2 great ways for you to get one. You can call the number at the end of this ad and order directly. Or you can call this same number and we will text you a complete list of Walmart Vision Center locations. We make it easy for you to hear better. Remember, call this number today to order and have a text message instantly sent to your phone to find the Walmart Vision Center near you. Here's that special number.
Call 800-360-0597. 800-360-0597. 800-360-0597. That's 800-360-0597.
Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on a Sunday, an episode of Four-Star Playhouse, Paradise, USA, starring Rosalind Russell and Ira Grossel. 73 years ago today, September 11th, 1949.
Here, transcribed, is another in NBC's outstanding parade of new shows. Four-Star Playhouse, a repertory company of 4 great Hollywood stars.
This is Rosalind Russell.
This is Fred McMurray.
This is Loretta Young.
This is Robert Cummings.
Yes, these are the stars heard weekly on Four-Star Playhouse. Ladies and gentlemen, one of our 4-star players and star of tonight's play, Miss Rosalind Russell.
Thank you, and welcome to our playhouse again. Every Sunday evening at this time, Fred McMurray, Loretta Young, Robert Cummings, and I appear in new dramatizations of stories selected from Cosmopolitan magazine. Stories by the world's leading writers of popular fiction. Tonight you'll find me playing the part of Judy Norris, a musical comedy star who finds a cure for the nerves that are part of the price of her success. You'll be relieved to hear that I don't sing. It's our new approach to musicals. No music, except chin music. Good talk, that is, and lots of laughter, we hope. Now, here is Robert Carson's Tot comedy, Paradise, USA. The surgical mask over my face smelled of rubber and germicide. It reminded me of when I had my impacted wisdom tooth removed. Only this was serious. In fact, Dr. Riley was wasting his valuable time on me. I was going to die. The biggest specialist in New York had practically guaranteed that 5 years before. I was a goner.
Breathe deeply, Mrs. Erpenward Norfolk.
What?
Breathe deeply, Mrs. Erpenward Norfolk.
Oh, I thought you called me Mrs. Erpenward.
Nonsense, Mrs. Erpenward Norfolk.
I'm going to die.
Nonsense.
You want to bet money?
Nonsense.
You'll see.
Nonsense.
You'll see. I didn't have much longer. I tried remembering things. I had to remember everything quickly and live it all over again quickly, in case my memory didn't exist where I was going. Let's see. It had all started in the spring, of course. There'd been another cocktail party. I was an old-fashioned girl myself. I'd had too many old-fashions. Thinking to myself that I'd probably need 2 sleeping tablets to conk me off that night, I became nastier than usual with everybody. I was munching moodily on $3 worth of caviar when the crew haircut with 6 feet of man underneath it sat down next to me.
Hello.
And goodbye.
Who are you?
Both of you. Depart. Go away.
Both of me.
Either you are identical twins or I need glasses. Or have I had too many glasses?
I'm just Paul Terrace, and you've had too many glasses.
I'm Judy Norris, and make of it what you will.
I've heard the name.
I invented the electric light.
Didn't I hear you sing in Oklahoma?
No, I've never been west of the Mississippi.
No, I mean the musical comedy Oklahoma.
Only it was Tennessee.
You danced a little. You sang a lot, off-key.
You go home.
No, you sang in a brassy, unusual voice. I liked it.
I know. It made you think of your boyhood days in your father's sawmill. But I get $2,000 a week for singing that way. Is that bad?
You ought to eat. Let's go someplace.
To sober me up, I presume, huh?
No, so I can sit and look at you. You're so lovely.
Eating?
Any old way.
Oh, all right. And I may yet invent the electric light. Then I'll be able to see where I'm going. Wholesale. Well, how did you discover this graveyard beanery? With a pirate map?
Well, the food's very good here.
Yeah, the flies like it.
I used to have a studio near here.
Studio?
Mm-hmm. I paint.
Oh, and what do you paint?
Pictures.
Well, I didn't think you needed a studio to paint Tom Sawyer's fence.
That was whitewash.
Ah, I suppose you want to do a portrait of me.
No, your face is beautiful, but it's rather empty.
What do you suggest I do to fill it up?
Have some more stew.
Well, I don't know if I should take this guy straight or with a dash of strychnine.
Where do you live?
Oh, I have a humble little 14-room retreat on Park Avenue.
I'll take you home.
Oh, no. No, you must never see the bitter squalor of my life.
Are there buses on Park Avenue? It's a little off my beach, you know.
Oh, it's only 4 miles, and I have my French heels on. Let's walk.
Okay. Hey, nice apartment you have here.
Not bad for $1,000 a month.
Nice place.
I'm curious, nature boy. Aren't you going to make a pass?
Who at?
Well, I could call my maid.
Very nice diggings
Now,
here.
look, you. I have a pain in my head. It's called migraine. They don't know what it comes from. But if I sit still and talk, I suffer more. So let's go to a newsreel theater, you and I, or you go home, huh?
I'll go home.
Shall we draw that up in treaty form?
Tell me, are you working now?
Well, I was in a show this season, but it folded. What about it?
Well, I want to court you for a few days, but I'm strapped for money.
Do tell.
Will you lend me $100?
Well, I'm an expensive date. Why not make it $500?
100's enough. I'll pay you back the first of the month.
Will a check be okay?
Good as gold.
Better. My gold sings in a brassy voice. Off key, remember? But thank you for your confidence in your dream girl, namely me.
I'll pay you back first of the month.
You said that. Do you always say everything? Twice, thrice, and thrice?
Make the check payable to Paul Terrace.
You know, you're a million laughs. I'll do it.
Paulterris.
How do you spell dollars?
DOLL.
Oh, thank you. Here you are now, my barefoot Romeo.
Thank you.
And if, dear one, it bounceth, think not that your love was false, but she has at other times ere now been stuck but good.
It won't bounce.
And may I say, Mac, that never has the bite been put on me in quite so novel a fashion to court me yet.
Well, I mean it.
You know, if you were tight for dough, why didn't you ask me straight out for a loan?
I love you.
I know. You loved me in Oklahoma, only I wasn't in it.
You know, you need a guy like me.
Not like you need that 100. And when, may I ask, may I look forward to seeing you and my century?
Well, I'll ring you from New Jersey. I live there.
Just reverse the charges.
No, wait. Let's make a date right now. We'll save a toll call.
Name the Boward Twisting Place.
Meet me at 59th Street and 5th Avenue tomorrow at 1.
Primed for lunch, or shall I come at?
Well, I can't afford lunch and dinner. Just dinner. I'll buy you dinner.
Oh, no, Buck. Let's live off nature. I know a couple of swans in Central Park.
Huh?
Oh, I'll see you tomorrow. I was puzzled and disturbed. I didn't know how to take this Paul Terrace. His calmness and patience, so unlike my own temperament, confused me. And yet it appealed in a strange way. I went to meet him on Fifth Avenue. Everything around me represented the New York battleground where I'd fought to fame and fortune, never relaxing a minute. But there was Paul Terrace, with his borrowed $100 and seedy air, looking pleased and at peace. He irritated me. We had a rousing time at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. I was footsore and peevish when Paul finally brought me to my apartment door. Won't you come in for a fraction of a second?
No, gotta get back to Jersey and get my sleep.
Well, you picked the right place for it.
I want to tell you I had a very pleasant day today.
Well, we must do it again sometime, in 10 years or so.
Well, next time we'll go to the Museum of Modern Art.
By next time, it won't be so modern anymore.
I'll give you a ring.
So you just don't give up, do you?
Well, not with you.
Why not?
You need me.
What for?
For what you need.
This could go on forever.
It's just what I want.
What?
Good night, Judy. Sleep tight.
Funny thing. That's just what I did. And without sleeping pills. I reached for the prescription, all right, but all at once I realized that my head didn't ache and my hand didn't shake. I put down the bottle of pills and turned out the light, and the Sandman crept into the room and slugged me. Boom. For the first time in years, I slept dreamlessly all night. But in the morning, my agent, Jerry Malone, came in to dangle fame and fortune to me again.
Judy, you've got to like this. It means fame and fortune.
You mean heartaches and insomnia.
Music by Rutgers and Malletberg, dancing by Alistair Tho. You in it. How can it miss?
It can't. But if it does, it's my second flop in the same season, and I bruise easily.
Now, Judy.
No, Jerry.
No, Jerry, no, Jerry. Look, what's Mary Martin got that you haven't got?
South Pacific and Ethiopinza. Next question.
September 11th, 1949, Four-Star Playhouse on Classic Radio Theater.
Instead of going down, the annual rate of polio cases in this country is going up. Instead of growing panicky with fear in the face of such an unwelcome fact, there is a way in which we all can join the Army which is fighting to check this trend and ultimately defeat infantile paralysis. We can contribute to the March of Dimes. Give today so that the 1952 March of Dimes will be the biggest ever and a really potent fighting force against polio.
Millions in Europe and Asia are going hungry and facing actual starvation. Therefore, it's up to us, the best-fed nation in the world, to tighten our belts. We can share a meal and save a life. And here's how. Buy only as much bread and other wheat products as you really need. Use rice, fats, and oils sparingly. Don't waste any food. Turn in your used fats and oils at the food store promptly. Plant a garden and raise as much of your family's food as you can. You are saving food for those who desperately need it when you buy less, especially when you use up those leftovers.
Our country was founded by men who had faith in God and who were willing to endure hardship and sacrifice for the sake of that faith. In these troubled times, there is need to support a way of life based on the enduring principles of religion, which knit the family together, make for good citizenship, and build the character of the children. The religious institutions in your community need your interest and support. So take an active part in religious affairs. Your pastor, rabbi, or priest will give you invaluable family counsel and aid if you're a newcomer to the community. To face the problems of the future, America must be morally strong. And that moral strength comes through worship and faith. Go to church this week and take someone with you.
You know, a fire that is raging out of control, a fire that isn't burning in an open fireplace or a closed furnace, but a fire that is burning all over the house, destroying everything it touches. That's the fire we all live in fear of. The sound of fire engines racing by in the dead of night isn't an exciting sound. It's a frightening sound. And the only kind of comfort we derive from hearing it is a kind of a small, uneasy relief that it isn't happening to us. Small and uneasy because we know that it could be happening to us. We all hope that it never will. But that's a futile kind of hope, unless we take active steps to see that it doesn't. And the steps to prevent such a fire happening to us are really simple. Here they are. Don't smoke in bed, and don't lose track of that cigarette you're smoking somewhere around the house. Don't store up old rags and papers. Clean them out. Don't put up with defective wiring and old frayed cords. Don't use cleaning fluids that will catch fire. Don't leave matches in reach of small children. Just 5 steps. Follow them. If you don't, you're gambling with fire, and the odds are overwhelmingly against you.
Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, an episode of Four-Star Playhouse on this Sunday from Sunday, September 11th, 1949. In the newspapers of that Sunday, 73 years ago, these were some of the headlines. Supreme Court Justice Wiley Blunt Rutledge, 55, died last night at York Village Hospital in York, Maine. Death came to the big soft-spoken jurist shortly after 8 p.m., victim of a cerebral hemorrhage. He had been in critical condition since being admitted to the little 22-room hospital August 27th. Operations on the St. Louis Southwest Cotton Belt Railroad, which had been halted by a strike of Missouri Pacific trainmen, restored to normal last night, according to Cotton Belt officials. Picket lines established by Missouri Pacific strikers had blocked all traffic on the Cotton Belt's main line to the southwest since late Friday night. The Cotton Belt uses Missouri Pacific tracks between Dupo, Illinois, and Ilmo, Missouri. Union officials said yesterday the Cotton Belt tie-up, the result of a misunderstanding, and ordered the pickets to let that line's trains go through, but it was late last night before the idle trains started moving. Hungary charged yesterday Premier Marshal Tito's Yugoslav regime and the American OSS had backed an abortive revolt plot aimed at assassinating Hungarian communist leaders and overthrowing the government. A presidential board yesterday rejected a fourth-round wage increase for 1 million CIO steelworkers threatening a nationwide strike, but recommended a pension insurance package of 10 cents an hour. Senator Robert A. Taft, the Republican of Ohio, declared yesterday the present Congress opposes President Truman's Fair Deal program just as much as the last Congress. The president called the last 80th Congress a do-nothing Congress and expressed satisfaction with the 81st in speeches at Des Moines and Pittsburgh on Labor Day. Those some of the day's top news stories as reported in the newspapers of Sunday, September 11th, 1949, on your radio. The Four-Star Playhouse, which continues now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
You can't stay away from Broadway too long, kid.
Oh, no, I know.
No, say you'll think about it.
I'll think about it.
Thanks, Judy. Well, I'll get in touch with you at the end of next week.
Oh, Jerry.
Yeah?
If you see a long, sad guy sitting down in the lobby named Paul Terrace, send him up, will you? He solves things for me.
Well, are you going to do the musical, Judy?
No, I don't know, Paul. I can't afford 2 failures in 1 year.
Well, what'll you do?
I don't know. Might go to California, pan gold.
No, come on, now, no kidding.
I'd go to Europe, but I can never find the powder room in foreign countries.
What?
Of course, I could try the Channel.
No, look, avoid Save your money, stay here.
If I stay here, somebody will put me to work, and my head will ache again.
Not necessarily.
Inevitably.
Not if we get married.
Married? You to me to you?
Why not?
Oh, well, thanks awfully, but you mustn't feel the $100 obligate you.
I love you.
You say that as if you were giving the correct time.
But I do.
You wouldn't like being married to me, Paul. I'm temperamental and mean unless everything goes perfectly.
Well, it might go perfectly.
Oh, Paul. No. You are nice, and you're a quiet, likable square, and you relax me. But there's such a thing as being so relaxed you can't move a muscle. And after all, I don't want that either.
Okay, let's go to 57th Street.
Gee, can we? I always wanted to go to 57th Street.
Well, I'm meeting Tad Halloran at an art gallery where some of my pictures are hanging.
On the wall or on gallows?
You like Tad Halloran.
Look, don't you ever answer my questions.
He's my roommate. He's a sculptor.
What's Ted Halloran's name?
Of course I answer your questions.
What time is it?
Let's go.
Oh.
Well, Miss Norris, where did Paul ever find you?
He blew a moose horn, and out of the woods I did plunge.
I saw her in Oklahoma.
There are no meese in Oklahoma.
But you mustn't come to art galleries, Miss Norris. May I call you Judy? You mustn't come to art galleries, Judy. You make art look uncouth and ugly.
Ah, that's sweet of you, Halloran. But how much could anyone louse up a painting like, say, that accident hanging up there on the wall?
I painted that.
Blindfolded?
It's one of Paul's abstract things. Don't you like it?
Oh, well, I'm getting used to it.
Well, let me explain it.
No, Paul, let me guess.
She's wonderful, Paul.
Now, tell me, Paul, how much are you asking for that mishmash up there?
$50.
$1,000.
Sold to the beautiful patron of arts for 1,000 seeds. Where do I make out the check?
Now, Judy, I won't let you buy that painting.
Paul, are you nuts? Think of all the groceries that'll buy it.
She is not buying that painting.
But I love it.
She loves it, Paul. I love food. You love her. Perfect.
And I'm going to marry you.
Huh?
What?
We're getting married.
What?
Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Paul Terrace.
Well. No. Now, look, I was married once to an actor. We were both infatuated with him, but my infatuation didn't last. I don't want to try it again. Now, is that clear?
Perfectly. Let's go, Judy.
Where?
To get a marriage license.
Now, wait a minute, Paul. Marriage is a big step for a girl.
It's a big step for a boy, too.
Are you sure you want to take it?
I'm sure I want to take it, and I'm sure you ought to take it.
But
Now, come on, my car's outside.
Oh, well, kill or cure.
Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Paul Terrace. This time for Paul.
Thanks, Dad.
Now, about our honeymoon, Paul.
Oh, yes. You must go on a nice long honeymoon.
How about Honolulu?
Wonderful. I'd like that.
You'd like that. You'd like Bermuda better.
No, I've been there.
We're going to New Jersey.
Oh, Paul. Paul, have you ever been to Niagara Falls?
Yes, I have.
I haven't.
Good, you go there.
We are going to Paradise, New Jersey, where I live.
Where we live, Paul.
We?
Well, don't be stuffy, Judy. You're going to love being our wife.
You are listening to the Four-Star Playhouse dramatization of Robert Carson's Cosmopolitan magazine story, Paradise, USA, starring Rosalind Russell.
September 11th, 1949, Four-Star Playhouse on Sunday's Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
It's a big, bold story set in the heartland of America, along the edge of Lonely Mountain. I am open for business. And so Big William Gorgon, played by handsome Michael James, fiercely set down his Midwest roots.
Oh, darling, we're going to sell bathrobes and raise chickens.
Set his adoring wife, Wilhelmina, portrayed by beautiful Glenda Olsen.
Oh, I love our store, Will.
But they hadn't counted on Big Ralph's bathrobes and cattle store coming to town.
Oh, Will, what will we do, Will?
Will had a plan, a way of facing off against tough Big Ralph. We're going to change the face of America. We're going to advertise.
For what?
With print, broadcasting, and bus benches. We're going to tell people who we are and where we are.
What's a bus?
And so the story of how one man brought advertising to the heartland.
Oh, will it work?
It will. Well, my name ain't Will, Wilhelmina. You got to advertise or we'll die. And so the greatest marketing story of all time is here. Advertise or die, dopey.
Put your message on this national advertising platform. email classicradiotheater@gmail.com. classicradiotheater@gmail.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Susan, I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic is terrible.
It sure is. But on top of that, gas prices have been skyrocketing. I can't believe how expensive gas has gotten recently.
Prices at the pump are up, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
And does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code EARN for a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's promo code EARN. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code EARN for a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code EARN for a $5 bonus.
Do your pets have the same energy they used to? Do they have problems with itching, scratching, a dull coat, or goopy ears? Then your pets need Dinovite.
DINOVITE.com.
For over 20 years, pet owners have trusted Dinovite to supplement their pet's diet.
We started Dinovite, and in our first box, we noticed a difference.
Dinovite is an all-natural daily supplement made from whole foods that help support your pet's immune system, digestion, skin, and coat.
Within 3 weeks, he's not scratching and itching, and he's an all-around happier dog.
Today's commercial pet foods are processed at high temperatures, which bakes out all the essential goodness. These processed foods can lack the essential vitamins, enzymes, and probiotics that contribute to overall good health. Adding a scoop of Dinovite to your pet's food bowl is the answer.
If you love your pets as much as I do, you'll want to do what's best for them to live long, healthy, happy lives.
I have 2 cats and 2 dogs. All 4 of them are on the Dinovite.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
DINOVITE.com.
Monday's Classic Radio Theater, we go back 76 years, September 12, 1946, a summer series starring Sandra Gare as Jane Sherlock in Meet Miss Sherlock, Wilma and the Widow. Now we conclude the Four-Star Playhouse on this Sunday Classic Radio Theater, 73 years ago, September 11th, 1949.
We went to live in Paradise, New Jersey. All 3 of us. Paul painted, Ted sculpted. Ted wasn't a bad fellow after all. In fact, he was gay and charming and quite insane, and a good tonic for my several bad moments in Paradise. I used to bring him coffee and crackers while he was at work, and we talked at length, sometimes even making sense.
Good coffee.
Thanks.
One of the many rewards of marriage.
Well, why not try it yourself?
I can't get married. Got to have a girl.
Well?
I always just seem to miss the boat.
Well, don't go by boat. Take the train.
You know, I might. Well, I got to finish this head.
Ted, how long have you known Paul?
I met him right after the war.
Is he a good painter?
He was a great one once.
Well, what happened?
Clashed with another painter named Adolf Hitler. His bomber crashed and he almost lost his right arm.
Oh.
And he had to learn to paint all over again with his left arm.
Oh, he never said a thing about that to me.
Oh, he'll start clicking again. Just wait.
You like him, don't you?
I like him and everything about him.
Thanks.
And if Paul weren't the nice guy he is...
Yes?
I wouldn't be the nice guy I am, or... seem to be. To new and superficial observers. Now beat it, kid. Posterity is waiting for this marble I am hewing.
Well, hurry then. Take the train. Oh, it's lovely here, Paul. So quiet, peaceful.
Yeah. Paradise has its points.
One of its nicer points is this porch.
Like New Jersey better?
I now regard NJ as ready for statehood.
A month ago, you wanted it run out of town.
A month ago, I was still having my headaches.
See?
Oh, Paul, I have a lady in the balcony. She has a question.
Shoot, lady.
It's about her platinum wedding ring set with diamonds. Even such teensy diamonds run into lettuce.
I had a wristwatch. Pretty good one, like Flyers used, with lots of gadgets. It belonged to my bombardier. He wanted me to have it after... Anyhow, I gave it to a man on 3rd Avenue, and the man on 3rd Avenue gave me the ring, even Steven.
Oh, what about your bombardier?
He'd understand.
Paul.
Yeah, on account of he'd know that anyone I loved would deserve what it took to get the ring.
Paul, I...
Uh-huh.
Oh, nothing. You're very good to me. You're good for me.
I'm dull.
You're good for me, and you keep me from blowing my top.
Okay.
Well, no appointed woman is really chic without her top.
Yeah, that's logic.
I don't have hangovers, and I don't take stuff to put me to sleep anymore. Paradise. Oh, it's wonderful.
Well, don't you miss the excitement of Broadway? The stage, the lights, people creating things?
Oh, well,
Yeah. Well, that answers my question. But I'm not worried. I've got you where I want you. I still owe you that $100.
Spring deepened into summer. Paul began to paint portraits in his spare time. And he began to paint mine, too. New York jitters, sleepless nights, cocktail parties. They were far, far away. And then one day, the serpent entered paradise. My agent had a great new musical for me. At first, I didn't listen. My agent showed me my shrinking bank account. I heard applause again. I saw the rave notices. I thought of all I'd fought for, being abandoned. I said, go home, I'll let you know. I asked Tad for his advice. Coffee, Michelangelo?
Thanks, Judy. Just set it down where I'm bound to sit on it.
Oh, how's it coming?
2 more weeks and some lucky fellow will have an original Ted Halloran for his tombstone.
Tad, people like us, painters, sculptors, actors, singers, we've got to paint and act and sculpt and sing, haven't we? Tad, haven't we?
So who's been talking to you?
I've been asked to do a show.
Yeah, I saw the car drive over that character.
Oh, what'll I do?
No, ask your husband, Judy.
Oh, I know his answer. It'll give you a headache.
Life gives you a headache.
Tell me what to do.
I can't, Judy. Paul's my friend and Paul's your husband. He makes the jokes where you're concerned.
Oh, if he'd only be more like you about these things.
Those are hard words, Judy, for Paul and me.
Tad.
Yeah,
Nothing.
we all have our work and our own minds to make up. Well, thanks for the coffee, Judy. Back to work I go.
But, Paul, it's sure to be a hit.
No, Judy, you'll get headaches again.
But you could work in my New York apartment.
No.
You could go off and paint in the West Indies.
I won't paint in the West Indies when my wife is singing off-key in the West 40s.
Off-key?
Well, anyhow.
Well, what about the bankroll I've got just for singing off-key in the 40s? What about the bankroll I had, that is?
Oh, I see.
Paul, now wait a minute.
I didn't know I was eating into your capital that
Well,
fast.
I didn't mean that, Paul. I only meant that the money is going and I have to get more.
I think you're right, Judy. I think you ought to go back to New York for a while.
Now, please
I need my work and you need yours. When we need each other, well, the trains are running, aren't they, both ways?
Well, will you see me off at the train tomorrow?
Sure. Tomorrow.
Paul didn't see me off. Paul didn't feel well, he said. Tad saw me off. Just before the train pulled out, he handed me a roll of bills.
Paul gave me this to give to you. $100, he says he owes you.
In New York, plans began for the show in September. Then the cocktail parties, the hangovers. I didn't sleep. I had headaches. I hired and fired my maids. I redecorated the apartment. I wasn't feeling any too well. I went to see a doctor.
Nothing out of the ordinary at all, Mrs. Terrace. Just going to have a baby, that's all.
That's all.
Well, sorry to spoil the Cabbage Patch version for you.
Doctor, the biggest specialist in New York, said I could not have a child, that it would kill me.
Perhaps that's what you wanted him to tell you.
But he was the biggest specialist in New York.
Well, come back in a month and we'll see. That is, if you're still alive, Mrs. Terrace.
Yes?
Judy?
Who is it?
Michelangelo.
Tad. Ted Halloran, where are you? Can you come over right away?
It'd be better if you went down to a bar on 32nd Street and 3rd Avenue where Paul is getting drunk.
Drunk? Paul?
And not working since you left.
What?
You needed him, Judy. Now he needs you. See to it.
32nd and 3rd. 32nd and 3rd. Paul!
Oh, Judy.
Oh, Paul, darling. Ted just phoned me.
Television. Base is full.
Now, Paul, you mustn't do this. Now, come with me.
I've discovered my right arm can lift a glass, and it's great.
Oh, dear. This may not be the time or place to say this, but I'm going to have a baby.
I'm going to have another bourbon. Baby?
We could go back to my apartment.
When?
Right now.
Right now? You can't have a baby right now.
No, Paul. No.
Joe, hot water, towels. Put plenty of hot water.
Paul, you don't understand.
Hot bourbon, there's scalpels, towels.
Paul, it's not for a long time.
The alcohol, vermouth, and 2 olives. The ambulance.
Now, get out of here. I don't want my baby to look like a martini. Come on. We went back to paradise again, and this time it was paradise. This time it stuck. Paul painted again. He began selling some work. He finished up my portrait because I wanted him to, because I wanted him to have it if I shouldn't be around sometime soon. Snow fell. On a still winter's night, the baby arrived. Of course, everything went wrong, just as the big New York specialist said it would. But the doctor let Paul in to talk to me for the very last time on Earth.
Only a moment, Mr. Terrace.
Oh, thank you, Doctor. Judy.
I'm sorry, Paul.
Oh, what for?
I did love you. You've got to believe that.
I know.
Keep the picture, Paul. Always keep it.
Of course.
No, you must forget me.
Forget you?
Yes. Yes, you must.
Forget you?
Yes, please.
Forget you?
You must.
Forget?
Yeah.
There. That does it, Mrs. Erpenwerfenwerfel. How are you, Mrs. Erpenwerfenwerfel?
Oh, me?
Well, how do you feel now, Mrs. Erpenwerfenwerfel Terrace?
I'm dead.
Hiya, Judy.
Paul.
Hi.
You dead, too?
Not very.
Oh, I died. It was a lovely scene.
Oh, you presented me with a beautiful little girl, and the doctor says you can have 6 more.
Oh, then I just dreamed it. It was a dream.
And so's the baby.
Oh, Paul. Is she nice?
Well, yes.
Paul!
It's nothing serious, only that voice of hers.
Voice? It's a lie. Whoever heard of a newborn baby singing off key? That takes practice.
You have been listening to Four-Star Playhouse, tonight starring Rosalind Russell in Robert Carson's story, Paradise, USA, adapted for radio by Milton Geiger. Ira Grossel was featured as Paul. Others in the cast were Shepard Menken, Dan O'Herlihy, and Ken Christie. Four-Star Playhouse is directed by Warren Lewis. Music composed and conducted by Albert Harris. Portions were transcribed. Rosalind Russell will soon be seen in the Columbia Pictures comedy Tell It to the Judge. Each week at this time, one of our four-star players, Rosalind Russell, Fred McMurray, Loretta Young, and Robert Cummings, will be heard in a special adaptation of a popular fiction story selected from Cosmopolitan magazine, written by the world's foremost fiction authors. Next week on Four-Star Playhouse, Loretta Young will be starred in Virginia Faulkner's delightful comedy, Once Upon a Horse.
73 years ago, Four-Star Playhouse, starring this time around Rosalind Russell and Ira Grossel, better known as Jeff Chandler. Visit our webpage, classicradio.stream, to stream our shows on demand and learn more about building a classic radio collection of your own. Have a great week ahead. Tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite station.